Hey everyone, stick with us versus herd. If it's your first time here, like the content, hit subscribe. If you want to get notifications from when we post videos, tap the bell. If you haven't yet joined our options trading live channel, link is below in the description. I go live 30 minutes before market open, Monday through Friday. And if you want to join the UVH fam, our community, links are below in the description to our Discord and our options trading group on Facebook. If you're long right now, comment below, and if you're short right now, comment below. Let me know which side you're on, and if you could do me a favor, hit the like button. I would really appreciate it. Tonight's going to be kind of a quick video. I'm just going to go through some of my thoughts on what I'm planning to do this week and what am I looking forward to this week ahead. And I did come off of a losing week last week. I actually lost roughly $200. It wasn't a huge loss, but you know, I went negative 1,500, then went positive 1,500, and then Friday I went down again. So at the end of the day, I was down around $200 in the week, which is not terrible, but obviously if you're gonna work hard, you wanna make some money, right? And last week was just pretty choppy. And one of the things that we noticed with the stimulus bill is the market was kind of going every which direction. But Thursday and Friday, I don't know if you've noticed, but there's been definitely a change in the market. Thursday and Friday is when, for me, I noticed that the market started to shift. And if we're looking at SPY here, Thursday and Friday. Thursday we had you know, most of the action was happening pre-market, and then we had a nice little pop up in the morning, but it was rather slow the rest of the day. And then Friday, if we look at SPY again, you know, we opened up and it was really just choppy all day long, and we just slowly grinded up until close, and then we had a huge sell-off. So, you know, when we're used to the market moving extremely fast, we're used to getting in and out of trades. Now, when the market's moving slow, we need to adjust to that. We need to move a lot slower with our entries and our exits, and not, you know, stare at the numbers all day long and hope for the best. You know, set some alerts, set some limits that you're thinking about you're trying to get your entries and exits out of, and you know, go about it that way. You don't want to be staring at the screen, then you're going to start second guessing yourself, like I was a couple times, like, hey, did I make the right decision? I make the right decision, when all it's doing, you know, especially on Friday, is just chopping. You know, you start to second guess yourself. And you know, a lot of my day trades did work out great on Friday, and then I had one loser at the end of the day when we had this huge sell-off. So you know, you want to be careful when the market is slow. You want to move a lot slower. And another thing that I learned in the last week or so was the option pricing has been adjusted. And what I mean by that is, a couple weeks ago we were making, you know, 500% plays, 800% plays, 1,000% plays. I mean, and we were making those huge gains pretty consistently. But if you haven't noticed, in the upper right hand corner here on the options chain, you see a plus and a minus sign, and that plus and a minus sign is now, let's say this is for SPY, for Monday expiration, it's saying it's going to move $10, and this was at close on Friday, so it's going to lose $10. The expected move is $10 on Friday, and it definitely could. It moved $7 on you know, it moved $7 to the downside on Friday, but it's expecting a plus or minus $10 move. So the market is now pricing in these moves. Unlike before, the market didn't know how to price it. Now the market is pricing the options accordingly to the amount of movement that we're getting. So if you're not hitting the 50 to 80% to 100%, it's because of the option pricing. It's accounting for those moves. So just be mindful of your trades. You know, don't be greedy. Be happy with the 20, 30, 40%. You know, when you try to push it past that, like I did on Friday, that's where I got my losers. You know, I had 2 day trades. I took them off at 20%, executed them perfectly, and then I got a little reckless on my 3rd day trade on Apple. It hit 20%. I didn't take the gains, and I sold it for a 20% loss. So, you know, just be mindful. You know, that's one of the things that I'm looking at, is the options are now pricing the moves accordingly, where there's going to be a $10 move on Monday, and then by Wednesday, between now and Wednesday, is expecting a $13 move and a $16 move by Friday. So, you know, you want to be mindful of the options pricing. It's extremely important. Now, what I'm looking for at SPY right now it's at 251. We're kind of grinding up a little bit. We did gap down. S&Ps are currently down 15, Dow's down 127, and NASDAQ is down 29 currently after hours right now, or pre-market, whatever you want to call it right now that we're in. And we're right now 251 on SPY, and what I'm looking for is it to get above the 255, 256 area, which I was saying if we wanted to push higher. Now, one of the things that I was looking at on this chart here is when we started this sell-off back in February, we had a push up at the end of February, early March, back up to 310, and this definitely failed. We came all the way back down to 218. Now the question is this going to push up here and we revisit these lows, or is this going to push a little bit higher? You know, right now we're obviously lower, but we're above 250, so we could kind of level out here before deciding which way to go. A couple things that happened last week was on Friday, Trump did sign the stimulus package, which is good. However, I feel like there's not a whole lot of good news coming. We have a lot of reports this week. It's going to have the coronavirus data in it, and you know, Monday we're having pending home sales. Tuesday we have the Chicago PMI, Consumer Confidence Index. Wednesday's ADP report. We have motor vehicle sales, which is Thursday we're going to have factory orders, trade deficit, jobless claims, and we're going to have the unemployment rate on Friday as well. So it's gonna be a little crazy on the reports this week, and that's gonna have the March data. So in first week of April, we're gonna have the March data, which is going to really show us what has happened in the entire, everyone getting laid off and what's happening with the economy. It's really going to give us a glimpse into what that's going to be. So for me, right now, I'm just going to be taking it day by day and seeing what happens. I'm also, I'm going back to my roots that I was doing fairly well on, just trading SPY, ES, MES, and Apple. Apple, what I'm looking at right now is it did close below 250. Below 250, I'm pretty bearish on it. So if it stays below 250, I'm going to try to short the pops. But if it pops above, we might get a little bit of recovery here. We'll see what happens. They did have some bad news that they're potentially going to be delaying their latest iPhone release for this year. So we'll see what happens with that. I did put on a MES contract right before I started this video, actually, and mainly because I do like that it's grinding up on the 15-minute chart here. It's just continually just slowly grinding up. But I do like the movement to the upside, and I am protecting myself right now. Right now I'm down like $4 or $5 on it. But I did put on Tastyworks, I did put a bracket order in that if it goes to 2470, it'll stop me out. That way I can sleep and not worry about what's happening here. And if it goes up to 2580, I'm thinking that overnight we could potentially get a pop up to 2580, and then I'd like to take my profits. I mean, it might try to push 2600, but right now the movement is just kind of weird. We had this huge gap down, and now we're just kind of slowly grinding higher. So I'm gonna try to make a little bit of money while I sleep here. I do think that my Boeing trade is probably a goner, so we'll figure that out. I do have the 200 call for this week expiration that I put on last week. Chased it a little bit. We made $600 on Boeing last week, and now I'm currently down over 600. So basically, we're break even on Boeing. I am short Home Depot, I'm short SPG, and I'm short TLT, and these three plays are currently not working out. So I'm bag holding a little bit. The trades that were profitable, I have taken off, and I've redeployed that capital. So we'll see if we can make a little bit of money here on MES, pushing up towards the 2600 area overnight. And for the S&Ps, pretty much the same thing as SPY right now, is I'm seeing if we can get above like the 2550 area to push up. Same thing. Are we going to, we had a sell-off, we pushed up kind of like a dead cat pounce, then we had another major sell-off, and then we pushed back up, and now is this going to be another leg down? So that's kind of what I'm looking at right now. I am going to be trading small and just trying to concentrate on SPY, Apple, ES, and just really concentrate on those, because I did trade Costco, I did trade Home Depot, I did trade Boeing. Some were successful, some were not successful, and in this entire stock market crash, I guess you can call it, is I've been the most successful just trading Apple, SPY, and ES, just keeping it, not watching a whole lot of different things, keeping it simple. In this market, keeping it simple is what counts. So if you watch this video to the end, comment watch to the end. If you could do me the favor, hit the like button. As always, stay safe, stay green. It's us versus herd.